guys, and welcome back. This is Chosenarchitect, and today we're jumping back into some more All the Mod 7 to the sky. Oh yeah, hope you guys are ready. Getting started today, I have some bee catching up to do. I went ahead and decorated the area a little bit better, so that way this is, gonna keep the bees nice and calm in here. And in doing so, I set up my hives. So these are planned for the future, and they're even future-proofed. I have access to them on the bottom. They're sort of set up in a manner that fits a little bit better because of these slabs. And I have these guys up and rolling. So I only have a couple bees. I have my main bees. I have the ones I definitely need, my draconic combs, and I have all of the modium ones going. Now, the reason I have all the modiums going is because this is what we're going to be upgrading here in a little bit. And I just want to go ahead and get this out of the way because I want a consistent production happening for these bees, and I want them to be consistently centrifuged, and I want to set all that up today. I think this should be pretty good, and it's going to fit our bee theme that we've been going with through this week, which has been kind of fun. Now, to get the most out of our bees, we need a productivity upgrade. Now, at the moment, I have a speed upgrade. We can mix and match those, but for right now, I really want to make a productivity upgrade. And if I throw that productivity upgrade inside for my advanced bee, then I think this will definitely get us going even faster. So we need to upgrade this one as much as possible. And as you can see, I mean, I could technically fill this whole thing with 5 of them. That would really make this fast, but I don't think it's going to be necessary once we get this upgrade made. This is going to up this by 140%. So I'm assuming right now it's at 40 or at 100% productivity. I think it all depends on the bee, actually. So if we see the bee, productivity is normal. I don't really know what that information fully means, but it will boost this by, it says 140%. I'm hoping that's a lot more, and we can even stack them for even more. So that's going to be the way to go. At the moment, I'm accelerating this thing. And this right here, when you accelerate it, if you use an auto clicker or whatever with this acceleration wand, it really goes fast. If you don't, you just hold right click. It might take a little bit of time, but I have always used this thing. This tool has been one of my favorites throughout my modding history. I really love this wand. It's so good. It basically takes things like this that make you kind of just wait, which I'm not a big fan of mechanics that make you just kind of wait for things to happen. I'm able to get things done incredibly fast by doing this. Also, you don't really, I think, have to worry about the honey for it to produce the combs. It's just going to produce combs. So with all that said and done, let's go ahead and craft some of these chunks, and let's go ahead and get that upgrade going. So all of our upgrades are production upgrade. It's going to require, of course, the base, which we should be able to make a few of those. But first things first is going to be the productivity. And I think we can go ahead and make 2 of them and put those in here. And I want to kind of see how much better this is. Okay, so it looks like every operation, it is generating 3 combs now instead of 1. And of course, it does make a lot of noise, but that is generating way faster. So I'm wondering if like even 3 of these, I mean, the 20% is pretty nice, but if we had 3 of those, maybe it wouldn't even be worth having the speed upgrade in there. So I think this is going to be the way to go, especially for these bees. And then of course, there is another upgrade that I wanted to test out, and that is the baby. So this is technically a way to automatically breed bees, or have a chance. It says while installed, a hive will have a 5% chance for a new baby bee to spawn. Now the question, it's a 5% chance, right? Does it matter if there's only 1 bee? That I don't know, but I'm about to test it out. Because if I check this, and I'm guessing a bee will spawn inside here instead of just popping out, that's really what I want to test. Aha. Yeah, this is what gets you. So, for example, this particular bee, it says right here, this bee species cannot breed amongst themselves. So I'm assuming that basically negates this function. So we can't even use this anyways. But can this one? This one can. So maybe I can get more of these bees from doing this. I'll give it a shot. And yes, it does spawn a little baby bee, and it actually spawns it right on the outside, and you can get it from accelerating it. So this, and all you have to have is the 1 bee. So this is a pretty decent way of getting a little baby bee. And of course we can throw that over here and we can breed this up so long as we have enough treats. That's awesome. That is exactly what I needed. This right here will accelerate this. There we go. And now we have another kind of bee. This is the, yeah, that's so fantastic. That is so much easier. I think that's easier than just going and using the nest to get a new one. So I guess at this point, to kind of speed things up, I basically need to craft all of these bees 4 more times. So I need to craft in all the modium bee, and I have to do this all the time. Now, the problem with doing this is, to get to this point, it does cost blocks of said material. And I do have blocks of most of the materials, but this one I don't. So I might have to just go through and just farm up the combs. Centrifuge the combs for right now, but I really want to get this all filled up and then have this maxed out with those efficiency upgrades. I think this will be sustainable, like even through the long haul. I think this is going to be the way to go. So I now have all of this nice and set up. I have all of the bees in each one, and I tell you what, they do produce the combs quite effectively, I must say, because this is working out quite well. Now I need to get these combs ran through this heated centrifuge. Now you may be wondering, how did I get a heated centrifuge? The heated centrifuge is an upgrade, and it does go faster, so definitely make this. Now this dragon egg is an inactive dragon egg, and all it requires is those draconic chunks around an egg. It's actually quite easy to make, and I'm so glad I decided to make this because it is significantly faster than the other one. For example, if I throw these combs in here, if I had power, if I throw those combs in there, it is quite fast. Let me kind of show you here. Boop. Throw the combs in. That is significantly faster than what I was dealing with before. Now, getting these nuggets is just a chance to get them. So it's not going to be 100%. We're going to end up with so much wax and stuff. And then the honey is going to build up as well. I think we'll be fine overall with the way this is going to be set up. And once this is full of honey, it still should hopefully process things. At least I hope so. We'll find out once that happens. But for right now, I need to get this all hooked up to XNet. And the reason I want to go with XNet is because I can make this look good. So for example, I'm able to place this connector down here, and this will actually be facaded. So the connectors are going to go on there. I'm even going to get a connector on the back of this one. And then I also need to get a connector that's over here, and then one slapped on that. And then down here, I need a connector as well on the bottom of this. And I've played around with XNet already before, but this is going to be a little bit easier of a solution because really we're just going to be pulling things out. If they're a comb of any, it's just going to go over here, be processed, and then the things that are processed, the output here is going to be pulled out, and all should be well. And then we're going to send that, I believe, just straight into our network. So I am going to be getting a cable pulled over here, similar to the cable that we have routed right here. I'm just going to have a cable all the way over here that is going to be connected to this system. Things are going to be put into a buffer storage, and then this will pull out of the buffer storage. Quite simple. So down here, I'm basically going to be using an ME interface. This is going to allow me to pipe items directly into here instead of using a buffer chest. So this should be everything I need to get started here. So if I pop back up, we can get to programming inside of our controller. Now, this isn't going to be too difficult because I have everything labeled. So, and we can see right here how everything is labeled. So first things first, let's go ahead and start up and create an energy channel. And the main thing is going to be to pull from our point here, and we're going to send power to the centrifuge. And then just for the lulz, we should be able to send power here as well, just to make sure it always has power, even though it's directly connected. And then over here, this is where we're going to start working with our item logistics. So this should be kind of fun. Let's start with items, and we'll create a channel. All of these, for the most part, should allow us to filter everything and send the items to a certain spot. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have all of these extracting. So they're going to all be set to extract, and then we'll do the filter on the inserts for the certain things. So I know at the moment I have combs I have all the modium combs, I have vibranium combs, and I have unobtainium combs, and then we also have the draconic combs. Now everything else I want to go to a chest, but on this insert here, like I want to go into the interface. But for right now, I want this to be a higher priority. So let's go ahead and create an insert and set it to a priority of 1. That's going to be higher than the priority that the interface is going to receive. And we'll set this to make sure it only receives these particular items. And so right now this is in whitelist mode. And so they should receive only these items. Should be pretty simple, right? Then everything else will go into here. Now we also need to create a new item channel called item. And this is going to handle the items that are coming out of the centrifuge. So notice we can't have the extract on the same channel. So we're going to have to create a new one. And this will be extracting the items that this processes and then just sends this over here into our interface. With all that said and done, hopefully this is working, and it looks like it is, and it looks like the items are being pulled out. The only thing that could benefit us here is maybe speeding things up. I don't know if it's this that's taken a little bit longer. Let's see. It does seem like it is getting through the items faster than these are processing. But yeah, that should get through everything. Unfortunately, this is kind of slow. Like this whole heated centrifuge is still technically slow. And unfortunately, I don't think there's any way to speed this up and make it go any faster. But there we go. Items are being taken out. Let's just make sure that this is on the fastest mode it can go. So I believe it is. We can make it set to stack. So it's pulling a stack out. Same for this. Make sure it is set to stack mode. Stack, stack, and stack. And that is going to make that pretty quick. Pretty quick, I believe. Is it working? I feel like it is. So once this gets through the backlog, it should be pretty well done. So this backlog has ended, and what it's keeping up with right now is the residual from the bees producing. I'm assuming once this is out, there we go. Now we're going to see the others roll into here, hopefully. It's still doing this one. I guess these bees are producing fast enough that it is not getting... Oh no, there's the unobtainium. Okay, so it's doing the unobtainium. And then once it finishes with that, it'll do this one. Oh, but we have a problem. We do have a problem. So inside of this insert here, we do want to make sure that we are blacklisting items. And we want to make sure that these do not make their way to the system by bypassing this going on right here. Okay, so we do need to get that set up. Otherwise, it is just going to constantly pull out everything that is in these, and we do not want that happening. Okay, the only thing I might end up doing, I mean, there's only one way. I mean, we can't speed this up and make this go any faster other than just making more of them. Okay, I've figured out a solution. I figured out a solution to speed up the centrifuge. I did not quite understand how these speed upgrades work, as they're referring to the bees, but they work in here. They sure do. And so I can take these speed upgrades from here and put them in here, and that will make this so much quicker. Let's see how fast this goes with max speed upgrades. Oh my. So much better. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have a problem for a while with max speed upgrades. That is fantastic. So bottles of honey are going to be a thing that we can deal with. We don't have to, but I think I want to. And so what I can do is I can set bottles to always be stocked with our interface down here. And so I can say, hey, I want glass bottles always to be set. And I can say, all right, let's make sure we have 64 always in stock. And so it's always going to hold 64 here. But you may be asking, well, what do you do like after this? Well, we probably want to continue to craft them. And so to do that, we need to go back and set up a crafting recipe. So all we have to do is set ourselves a bottle crafting recipe, find a place to put it. Yes, there's always stuff going on in here. Let's see, we can get rid of this rod for right now. Not a big deal. And then we're going to need a card from Applied Energistics. So AE2, let's get ourselves a crafting card. This right here. And this is going to allow us to basically prep crafts. So it'll always have crafts stocked. So if we run out of items that are needed for that thing we just set up, this is going to allow us to always make sure they're there by doing an auto crafting to make sure they get there. So bam, put that in. Like I said, that's always going to be there. And then in XNet, all we have to do is create a new channel, and we can call this, or we can set this to the item, and we'll say this will be an extract, right? And then we just need to set inserts on all of these, and that should hopefully insert bottles into here, and we should start seeing bottles propagate. There they go. Bottles are being propagated. Of course, we can set this to stack. It's not a big deal. So set that to stack. That should happen a lot faster. There we go. They're all in there. And now we should no longer have to worry about bottles inside this. And now, of course, this is 100% modular. We can go ahead and any bee we add to this list, all we have to do is just add a connector to it in the same fashion throughout all of these. And it will be connected. It'll just be added to the list, and we'll just have to add to the connections. And of course, I list all of these. As you can see, this says unobtainium, this is vibranium, this is aldemodium, and this is the dragon. So yeah, this is basically automated now. Now, let's facade this bad boy. This is like the whole reason why I wanted to use XNet, because I can now do this. Boop, boop, and boop. And it's all going to be covered up and look natural, like there's no piping connected to it. And then same over here. All I got to do is boop, like that. And you know what? Honestly, we can make this look like a fence. Or we can't. Let's pop that off. We can make this look like, I mean, a stair maybe? Like, let's try and see if this looks right. Yeah, we can do that. And then on the other side, I can just go ahead and put a stair. It looks like there's a little bit of Z fighting going on the top, but nobody's ever going to look at that. So while I have the bees doing their things, let's jump back and just take a step back and let's visit Ars again. Ars Nouveau. Now, at the moment, I have kind of a passive farm at my main base, and it's not currently running very well. Like, I don't have any main things set up or anything. So I was thinking, why don't I try and set up a Drygmy farm? Now, a Drygmy is the little elvish looking guy that kind of spawns. You've probably seen me kill a few of them. But I kind of set up an area up here for them. So this farm, I'm going to show you how to obtain the guy. I'm going to show you how to set it up and why I have these pads set up the way I do. So let's go ahead and first... Let's get a Drygmy, because this thing is going to take a little bit to get. First, I need to get a Drygmy shard, and then I need to make it into a Drygmy charm. And just like all of our other things that we've summoned that actually do things, this is what you need for the Drygmy charm. But first, I have to get the shard. Now, to get the shard, I am going to need a horn, and let's go ahead and grab this. And I believe the book tells me to right-click it or give it to it. I think you can drop it on the ground. And I think if you drop it on the ground, it will turn into a shard, I believe. So let's go ahead and head back to the base. And hopefully we have a Drygmy just laying around. Like, that would be really nice, right? If we have a Drygmy in here. Do we? If not, I'm going to have to, well, destroy everything that's in here. Yes, including the pigs. You know, I might try and let some of the pigs run free. Oh, there we go. So... We got one to spawn. Okay, that's all I needed. So we can head back in here. And I want to put this fella in here in one of our areas to sort of get him to stand. There we go. I think we drop this on the ground. Little fella runs to it, grabs it, and is really happy. And as you can see, turns into 2 Drygmy shards. I love how it just goes poop and it's done. Okay, so now we got to take this and we need to enchant this. So we are going to need some sort of meat, any fishing drop. So we need fish, wheat, apples, carrots, any sort of seed, and 2 of those. I literally have no fish, so yeah, as you can see, I'm fishing. I haven't done this in a while. This is actually kind of relaxing. In the newer version, I don't think anything major has changed, right? As far as fishing goes. There we go. And that's not the fish I need, but still, I'm going to be fishing just for a bit. So now that I have gathered all of that, and including the crab, I didn't even realize that there was a drop. This will all start to process. And yes, we are going to get our first Drygmy. Now the Drygmy is kind of cool. The book talks a little bit about what the Drygmy does. Talks about its happiness, its production, and how it works, and how we are going to get this up and running. So one of the things it's definitely going to need is a spot of mossy cobble. So let's go ahead and grab mossy cobble. And we need to place the mossy cobble right in the center of this area because I built this platform just for it. And then I right click the Drygmy on it. And what should happen is this should turn into a hinge, a Drygmy hinge. And the Drygmy should spawn. Just like that. Actually, you know what? What I probably should do is raise this up. I think if I use the dispel, but I think I might be able to hand place the hinge. Let me go ahead and dispel this guy. So to do that, I have my dispel spell. And if I get to range, there we go. And you can also kill it as well. I think that'll also work. So let me actually place this 1 block higher because it seems like that would be the better case. So I'm going to place this here and then this here and then this on top. And I think that's much better. Now it does need source, and it's also going to need a chest. So for that, let's get a chest. I'm going to place on one side, and then on the other we need a mana jar. Let's see, source jar. I keep calling it mana, but it's definitely source. Actually, originally I think it was called mana before it was called source. So yes. So we're gonna have that here, and we'll have a chest here, and I definitely want to break the thing underneath it because we are going to be routing mana to this, and we're also going to be using this chest to automatically pull the items out and go into our applied logistic system. Now, how does this guy function? Well, first we need to get source routed to this. To do that, I think I can split off of this. It does say sending to 1 locations. So can I also have it go here? I guess I can have it go here for right now. But later on, I probably would want to use, I think it's called a splitting one that would allow me to split this into multiples. Probably get into that later. So right now, there's nothing for this guy to kind of mess with. There's nothing for it to kill or anything like that. It doesn't actually kill mobs. What it's going to do is I'm going to put mobs on here. I have vector plates pushing mobs into the center, which is going to also give them slowness and kind of force the mobs to stay here. So what I need to do is I need to get some cows, pigs, some sheep, things like that. And what it can do is actually pull the items off the mobs without killing the mobs. I know. And this is how we're going to actually get some food because I am currently low on steak. I would love to have steak on me. Okay, just a heads up. Some things have gotten a little wacky. So I did a bunch of testing in between the point where I was going to put mobs in and this point. And some things have changed. And let's go ahead and take a look at it from a top perspective. Because what I did was I outlined this with the archwood. And as you can see right here, I now have fences. I have all the mobs placed in here that I want, including modded mobs. And I think this is functioning way better than the system I had. Now, another thing that I went ahead and did is I went ahead and made 3 more Drygmy. Yes. I had to go back and get those all set up because this is pretty slow with just 1 Drygmy. But with all 4 of these in here, all you gotta do, by the way, is just spawn another one on the hinge and they're linked. This is way faster. Also, with all these mobs, they are also faster. They get faster the more mobs that exist, the more entities that are around it, and they also get a bonus for all the different types. So, as you can see, they're putting it now inside of this. which is kind of nice. So we're getting all kinds of stuff, including these experience things. As you can see, we're getting venison, we're getting the beef, we're getting feathers and mutton and all kinds of good stuff. That's perfect. Now, I tried it with an ender chest, and it was not, they were not putting it into the ender chest, but I can get around that pretty quickly by simply having items just route from that to the ender chest. I think that is going to be the most simplest way to do this. So what I can do is I can just have an ender chest right here. And for example, the best thing probably would be mechanism pipes. Just because of the simplicity of them. And then all I'll do is I will just route the items just like that, and then make sure to use this to set this to extract just like that. And now we'll have all of those items heading into here. And what we can do is we can set up a filter that's going to allow us to, let's see, pop down here real quick. And we can just place this ender chest down here, and we'll set up an importer that will allow us to import. So this will end up sending everything into our system. Let's go ahead and create an import bus. Remember, export exports out of the system, import imports into the system. We got to think of these cables from the perspective of the system. And cables. And I think we're good. So we'll hook this in. That is going to use another channel. So now we have 7 of 8. The only way to get around this channel limitation, by the way, is for us to use peer-to-peer, which is another thing that we're probably going to have to do. As we only have one more channel available, that means that that final channel is going to be a peer channel, which we'll talk about in the future. We'll get into this in the future, where we'll be able to hopefully get 32 channels off of another peer line. Sounds confusing now, but believe me, it will function in the end. But yeah, this right here should be now pulling, as you can see, all of the material out. And we now have like a passive mob farm. Now, I could put hostile mobs in there as well. And I think I might eventually do that. But I think the problem with hostile mobs is they have to be name tagged so they don't despawn. But other than that, this is doing a fantastic job and is keeping up. I just threw these guys in here just to be extra entities that are up here. But I don't think we get anything from these entities. There are some more mobs, though, that I would like to get up here. Like, we can get zombies, skeletons, creepers. You know, all those things would be nice. I'm glad that it works with modded stuff, because we can even throw some modded mobs in here. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you learned something new. Of course, if you did, be sure to click that subscribe button. And, yeah, to stay notified when I publish new videos just like this. Also, give this video a huge thumbs up, as that, of course, helps in that beautiful algorithm. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Of course, I will see you in the next one. Let me also say thanks as well to the sponsor of today's video. And that huge thanks, by the way, is going to go to Gavin J. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member and supporting this amazing community. Guys, I just want to say, please do the Discord. All you got to do is go to discord.gg/Chosenarchitect and join the amazing community. And of course, guys, I will see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.